red-hued mysterious realm with many unknown secrets. Many had asked questions about the lore in the Nether. In this series, I will showcase my Nether world in a modern setting that will amaze you. Start asking this. What is this world? Hello everybody, Minor Nation here, and today we are heading towards episode 4 of the series. And today we are going to go to the section of my Nether map. And most of them are going to be on the central part of the map, but towards the southwest. And of course, once again, I realized one thing. I need the damn it. I need the hut. See, this is what happened when I'm not fully prepared. God damn it. Don't need the paper doll, but everything's all checked out. So we actually need to go through the portion of the southwest area. And it's going to start at the outskirts of Netherrapolis. This highway has expanded all the way through what we consider as the far lands. But not really. It's more of a rural community. A rural community that inhabits not that many people, but is the backbone of the imports Nether has to offer towards the overworld. I'm gonna put this down a little bit. Hold on, because I could hear the music. But you know what? I already did enough with the intro, so let's do this, shall we? So as you can see right here, as I mentioned before about the intersection, it's gonna be very common. But as you can see, it's a very small rural community, and once again, the town hall. What's different about it is that this one has different varieties: warped and crimson, with a little bit of the red brick slabs. But on the next episode, see, this is what happened when I need to be scripted and I could hear the song. I'm pretty sure you guys wouldn't hear it. For me, it's pretty insanely annoying. So let's do this at 10. All right, but you know what? I can do this at one take. But yep. So next episode, we're actually gonna go explore this area for episode 5, because this one is also another rural area. But actually, here we're gonna go southwest. So yeah, the highway has expanded, goes across the wastelands, and the large fossilized creatures that once ruled the Nether, but has long gone extinct. And this is one of the bridges that we'll be talking about. Uniqueness. There's another path of crying obsidian for the piglins and the hoglins to drink. And as you can see, there's actually some settlements. A small city. And this is exactly where we're gonna go. Of course, just like any small cities, towns, really have no name. But it is indeed pretty large. It's scattered across the areas. Where there's its own downtown area, shopping Main Street district. But yeah, as you can see, it's still expanded, even towards the hill. And of course, you got yourself a city hall. They share two areas at the same time. And this area is actually pretty unique. It may be like a slab, maybe just a bunch of slabs. And it may seem to be catered towards the slums, But actually, no. I forgot to mention in last video that this is part. Wow. Sorry. The song is like pretty intense, but anyways, this is actually part of a community college. You might see these quite often, but there's only two areas that is known. This one is a community college, and the other one, which is going to be in the next episode, is going to be the university. And many of the universities going to most likely going to be compact like this, but mostly quartz. Uh, Regardless of the area. But yeah, let's continue. Going through the highway, we see small towns everywhere. And then we come to a stopping point, where the road no longer has that pavement, and is all similar to a dirt highway road. Now, the reason why, because of how vast it is, and also how quite expensive to build an official paved highway. So roads there is. And now we have entered a city in the Solsan Valley. This is not the only city that's in this bio, but it is one of them that is pretty much the closest one. You guys have City Hall, downtown, and a few areas spanning all the way over there. And as you can see, the road is continuing to expand but stopped. Well, it's because it's a work in progress. Same thing for this road. Despite being expanded all the way much farther, it's still be expansive. And it stopped right there. Because there's some really nice settlements for a town or city. But for now, it'll be left undeveloped. And you could question me one thing. How do I know where it is? Well, as a builder, and pretty much for any other builders, you know exactly where it is, especially in the Nether. Because the Nether is pretty vast. Now, as you can see, the highway, and now we enter to another city called Ready Flats. Oh, my bad. I read it wrong. It's called Ray Flats. And the reason why it's called Ray Flats because, well, it's pretty much in the red surface and pretty much one of the cities with the biggest, highest points. Of course, once again, there's a downtown area. Now, what's really interesting about this one is the city hall. As mentioned before, for many major cities, it'll look like this. Unique, classical style structure, but more imperialistic. Same thing with this tower. It's part of the building and was the former communication towers for it. But after the war, it just rather become no longer in operation. Sorry about that last wording because that one sucks. Anyways, we keep going. We see unique neighborhood, and once again, there's the slums. It's pretty compact, and it's actually went through in. I actually placed these when I first built this. And just to keep in mind, not every city has a slum. Netherrapolis doesn't have one because they removed them decades ago. See, they know how to handle the housing crisis, but not see it like this, especially how small it is. You also have a unique archway. You also have two identical buildings, one long, one short. And as you can see, a highway expanded all the way from there. And now I'm going to see the first time. in the previous episodes, you're already familiar with the airport and also suburban neighborhoods. And it's still a work in progress. So everything is coming tight. The highway expanded. Of course, another netherrack bridge. Pretty simple, unique. Actually, not unique, just plain and simple. Skyscraper. And then we actually entering two cities, or also known as twin cities. This one, the downtown area, and this is pretty much the largest city of a port because it's next to a lava shore. More buildings, and you got yourself the shipyard. The shipyard's pretty big, and indeed it is. Exactly where many of the imports from many basalt factories were sent here to move to the mainland. That's what the highways were made. Not just cars, as well as trains. Another area of the city that's called Rayport. Ray Flats and Rayports are similar and made by the founder of the two cities. But not this one. And actually, in fact, this one is pretty recent. I have no name for it, but in the comments below, you can pick a unique name for this city, but it has to be Nether related, and also how to be appropriate. As you can see, a large downtown area, and this one is actually this one's 5x5 this time, and have a very unique skyscraper, despite being very different from this building and the others. You guys might as well see two unique buildings, which is a unique structures. The bridge and this building. So the bridge is a completely based on old architecture bridge during the turn of the 19th century. And it was. But you can see how very sparsely the location was. A bridge like this should have been in like a major city like Netherrapolis or Samples. Not here. Not next to Rayport. Another one would be this one. This one is the Divinity Church. And the church here is based off the religion many piglins and hoglins worship. There is no, of course, any religion in the overworld. There's no Christians, no Catholics, no Judaism, no Islam, nothing. No Hindus, anything. Although there are some scattered around, the main religion would be called the Affinity. Basically the official religion of the Nether. Basically in general, not just in my modern Nether take. As you can see, we are now entering the industrial zone, and it's pretty large. So despite being long, you can see that they have been constructed with obsidian structures to keep the structure more stable. And it's pretty long. Because it's a lot, despite being the process being long, it's doable. As you can see, the highway expanded. We got ourselves a bunker to protect this factory. And as you can see, just like the factory from the last video, you see a bunch of basalt containers where they store raw basalt and handmade ones too. The main facility, the barracks for the workers, radio tower, more storage, and the main facility. And he's come to generators and the purifiers. Now, the reason why this area, unlike the last one, to be to be heavily guarded is because it's very rich in basalt. There's so many bunkers, indeed, in fact, that it's considered as top priority among terrorists and any other criminal syndicates that try to control the sector. And of course, there's a prison. Now, this is the first time you'll see one because the prisons are pretty large. There's the hangars for the guests, there's the barracks, and there's the main facility to harbor any unsuspecting criminals. It could be considered as the Alcatraz of the Nether, but there's actually so many, and this is not one of them. On the next video, I'll show you what it is, because it's very isolated, it's not high up, it's not even near a major population, as you can see. Before I'm going to go over here, I'm going to show you what's coming up next. Away from the industrial zone, we see another city. And according to that, this one is the city of Basel. It is not a twin city because all the cities were split into two. Basel has a central business district right here and the main headquarters district for the companies who harbor any basalt and lava and any blue particles, as you can see right now. Although very minimal, unlike in the Crimson Forest, you see the city has become a bit more expansive, but as mentioned before, it's a work in progress because the city just stopped right there. It's very strange seeing a bunch of houses and then you see downtown very close. So it is still currently expanding and all that. You see, many of them were made in warped structures, especially Blackstone. And as we keep going, population is still outspread until you get through here. Here's the bunkers again, and then now we enter another imperial palace. This is one of the many imperial palaces the former emperor used to own. Not anymore, and now has been occupied by the representatives and congressional senators in the area, because it has its own district. But anyways, let's go up and we see another settlement. Small town, pretty simple. And then we get through here. We also have the factory. As you look around, you might see a few quartz radio towers, which is a quartz checkpoints. Look around, you don't see any white quartz, but if you see quartz, you know that there's still industrial business to do regardless. Actually, I don't see one right now, but whatever. Anyways, we have now entered that's weird. I already made one. Oh, wait a second. No. So the last city is named Shroomlai, according to the map. This is actually the city of Basel. And it was originally a mining town. But just like any mining towns during the westward expansion in the United States, throughout much of the 19th century, it has now become a major city. And then there's suburban homes. But as you look around the video, you realize a block in netherite. It is a filtration system to get rid of most of the basalt, like lurking around into the cubes. So that way, doesn't affect many of its structures, roads, parks, etc. It's pretty bleak, but it's definitely worth it. And as you can see, highway expanded and towards the area that we actually first came. There's a bridge, and there's the intersection right there. But there's still more industrial zones around. Although there's no official road, there are a handful. Of course, none right here. There's an abandoned home right there, and you'll see these a lot. Like, for example, this. Oh no, 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 that's the airport. For example, this enclave right here. You see a small settlement right there. They can be very common towards areas that is not viewable. It's kind of the ports again. And I'm actually going to make a naval episode one of these days. But these are indicators of ports, so that way boats could refill their fuel and go on a very long trek towards a major harbor and even the main shipyard, which unfortunately I didn't bother to make. But there are a few things to go down there. So we got some radio towers. There's the main entrance to one area. There's more of the pumps. And guess what? More pumps too. It keeps going and going. And then it all stops. As mentioned before, it is still a work in progress. So everything should be all looking good. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day enjoying the series so far. And I hope I see you guys later.